Patty Johnston, and I am a leadership coach, trainer, and speaker with the John Maxwell team as well. My program is called How to Stop Procrastinating in 30 Days, and I'm going to teach you today what I call the master class. But a master class is generally 60 minutes, but we have 20 together, so this is going to be a mini master class. So here we go. If you haven't noticed, I have an accent. So guess what? I'm going to tell you the story of my life in 1 minute. So I was born in Colombia, South America. Beautiful country, but it was very dangerous back then. My uncle actually got kidnapped, and I was in a restaurant when a car bomb exploded. So I decided, this is a good sign to go. And I decided to come to this beautiful country, the U.S., and I came to study a master's degree. I have an MBA, and then after a few years, I had the opportunity to go to London and lived in London for 1 year. After that, I went to Australia, and I lived in Australia for 5.5 years. And believe it or not, I have 4 passports, 4 current valid passports. So my life is full of confusion. I don't even know where I'm from anymore. So because of my travelings, I've been able to train people from more than 23 countries from all around the world, 23 countries. And I've been able to be a guest speaker for many events. I've trained big corporations, small networking places. This is the mayor of Tampa, so I work with the community in Tampa. Big events. Mike, I've been on TV. Guess what? I've seen on NBC and Fox News. I learned from Mike this yesterday. So I've been everywhere. And it sounds very fancy, right? It's like, oh my goodness, Patty, you're an international leadership coach. Yes, but this is my confession, guys. I was actually born a procrastinator. My favorite word used to be mañana. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, maybe next week. Maybe next year. Oh, next year for sure. And it's a problem. Is it that bad, Patty? Yes, it is bad. Because it's been proven that procrastination is the biggest enemy of success. It's been proven that procrastination is the biggest enemy of success. Sorry, Randy. It's been proven because if you have great ideas and great dreams, but if you don't take action, you go nowhere. So, if we're going to talk about procrastination, let's define it. So, procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing something. The action of delaying or postponing something. But most than at all, it is an avoidance strategy. Procrastination is an avoidance strategy. What does that mean, Patty? Well, let me tell you. This is the cycle of procrastination that I used to follow. So procrastination starts with anxiety. So you're anxious because you know exactly what to do, but you don't want to do it. So you're like, oh, yeah, I know, I have to do it. And then you trade anxiety for pleasure. What does that mean, Patty? Let me tell you a story. I used to be a real estate agent for a long time. And every day I would wake up and say, I'm going to follow up with 5 clients today. 5 clients. But reality is, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to feel rejected. I'm like, they're going to think I'm very pushy. So I would be like, okay, but before I call these clients, I'm going to check Facebook. And I would check Facebook, and it was like, oh my goodness, so-and-so got married? And they didn't invite me? I cannot believe. Let's see who went. Click, 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 only to find myself an hour and a half later checking the profile of the grandmother who I've never met in my life. So the problem is I was just replacing anxiety with pleasure. But after pleasure comes guilt. It's like, oh my goodness, here we go again, another day that I wasted. And after guilt comes even a compounded anxiety. So you see, you go over and over again in this cycle, and if you go enough times, you become angry. Angry at yourself. How is it possible with me knowing exactly what to do, I'm not doing it? So that was the story of my life, and see if you can relate with this. I was at some point very stressed because I was not accomplishing much in my life. I was like, oh my goodness, I have so much going on, and I'm not really accomplishing anything. I was worried because I was not really doing exactly what was best for my health. I was a bit overweight, I was eating the wrong things, I was not doing exactly what I needed to do. Anyone? I'm feeling overwhelmed. Overwhelmed because I had so many things on my plate, and I didn't even know where to start. I was very confused with so much information that I had in my head. And I was feeling also guilty. I felt that I was neglecting my family and I was out of balance. There was a point that I was on my phone all the time, and my son was like, oh, Mom, you're always with me, but always on your phone. Oh, that was so difficult. And then I felt stuck. I felt that I had so much potential. Like I had 100% of my potential, but I was only accomplishing like 40% out of it. So I decided at some point I didn't want to be like that anymore, because let me tell you what happened to me. My family, my parents were very organized, very disciplined, and my sister, she thinks she's perfect, but she's not perfect. She's almost perfect. And this used to be her room. So beautiful, so organized. And this used to be mine. A mess. This is not the actual picture, guys, because my room was even worse. You couldn't go even in. So this was me when I was about 10 years old. Little Patty. And then I used to forget homeworks. My room was a mess. And I remember one dinner time, I spilled my milk, like every night I did. And then my dad said to me, oh my goodness, Patty, you're such a mess. I don't know what's going to happen with you in the future, because I don't see a future for you. I hope you get a good husband at some point. And that little smile was not there anymore. That crushed me. So I believe that there's something wrong with me. And on top of that, I got pregnant when I was super, super young. I was an early teenager. And this is me and my son when we arrived in Tampa. And what did I need to do to create a life for both of us? I had to work, and I had a job that I was not happy in. I was like, oh my goodness, I need to do something about my life. So I decided to study psychology. And I studied psychology just to be able to fix myself. And I created a system to get me unstuck. And that's when I opened my company, July 2004, with $2,000. And then I sold it by December of 2005 by $500,000. I couldn't believe it. And then because I had some money, I started investing in real estate. So I became a realtor. And my broker said, oh my goodness, Pat, it's going to take you forever, because there are 44,000 associates, realtors, just in Tampa. 44,000. I'm like, okay, let's see how I go. I was ranked number 10 in my year one. 10 out of 44,000 realtors. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is so weird. And I forgot to tell you guys something. I have ADD and mild dyslexia. So I confuse numbers and I confuse names. I went out to have lunch with Anthony here, and then, sorry, I did it again, with Jonathan. And then I called him Anthony all the time. I'm like, Anthony, this is a good restaurant. What are you going to order, Anthony? And then he politely said, Patty, is Jonathan. And I'm like, oh, no. So I'm sorry I did it again. Jonathan or Anthony, I know you understand. Anyway, so I did so well with real estate that I ended up, just after a few years, I ended up selling my business for $2 million. $2 million! Never, ever in my life I thought I was going to say that. And guess what my dad said when I sold my company? Patty, I've always believed in you. I'm like, you didn't, Dad. He's like, yes, I did. I'm like, okay, well, thank you. Anyway, so after that, I decided, you know what? People started asking me, so what is it that you do, Patty? What's your secret? I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it really well. So And then I stopped and I thought, you know what? I do know what I'm doing. I created a system that worked in me, and I started teaching that system to other realtors. So I'm like, okay, I'll show you, and you pay me a commission. And every realtor that came to work with me was doubling their sales. Like, wow, this works. And little by little, I started extending it to other people, and that's how I became a coach, a leadership coach. So the million-dollar question, guys, is how did I go from being broke, frustrated, and sad to be doing what I love to do and making good money with it? So this is the good thing. This is the time for my secrets. I'm going to tell you the secrets of how to take action in my success. So I'm not going to share my 3 secrets because I don't have much time. So I'm going to share 1 secret, okay, today. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to explain how you can implement it as well. Because I'm no different than anyone else. You can do it as well, okay? So you ready? Oh, I can't hear. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready too. So the disclaimer is what I'm about to hear is very different from what you have heard before. What I teach and my style is completely different from what you have heard before. And Brandon, I'm really sorry to say this, but my favorite superhero is different too. Guess what it is? Wonder Woman. You know why? Because she is normal. She doesn't have millions or billions. And she knows that even though her everyday is like a regular person, she can have a superpower to help herself and to help others. Who's with me? Yes. So I like to be a Wonder Woman, and I like her outfit as well. Anyway, so let's go. If you're ready, I'm ready. So secret number 0. Oh my goodness, I'm going to give you a bonus secret. Secret number 0 is you need to be an honest person. If you want to stop procrastinating and taking action, you need to be an honest person. Because people come to me, it's like, Patty, it's not too bad. I'm doing okay. I cannot help you. You cannot help yourself if you don't acknowledge that you need help. So you need to be an honest person and realize that we all need help. We all need coaches. We all need help, mentors. So anyway, that's secret number 0. Secret number 1, to change anything within you, you need to know why you're doing it in the first place. To change anything within you, you need to know your why. So I had one of my uncles, he had a headache for 40 days. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor didn't say, oh, it's okay, here you go, your painkillers. No, the doctor said, let's do a blood work, let's do an MRI. We need to know the why behind it. So most people think, oh my goodness, I can stop procrastinating if I try hard enough, I have a calendar, I read books and videos, or I put my mind into it, or I really, 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 really want it. It does not work like that. So you need to find the real reasons for procrastination. And the real reasons start with fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of conflict, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. Anyone has experienced any of this? I have, all of them. So the other reason for procrastination is basically emotional state. If you're anxious, what do? Nothing. If you're sad, you want to go to sleep. If you're angry, I had a text with one of my coaching clients saying, Patty, I found a reason that I'm not succeeding. I'm angry. So instead, when you're happy and when you're victorious, you take action. So this is a very, very important. The other thing is we have different personalities, and the type of personality you have affects directly the way you act. And childhood issues, guys, I don't know you, but I didn't have the perfect family. Anyone? Still shows up. Next, mental disorders. We talk about ADD, ADHD, Asperger's, etc. And then cultural. I'm not going to say which country it is. It might be Colombia. It might not be. But certain countries and cultures are happy and fun, and we'll do it later. So that obviously has an influence. Perfectionists. Do we have any perfectionists in the house? Yes. That's used to be me. Second, daredevils. Daredevils are the ones that leave everything for the last minute. If you have a project for a month and you do it the night before, if you have to pay a bill, you pay the minute before you get a fine. That used to be me. The next one, the ostrich. The ostrich are the dreamers. Oh my goodness, I'm a millionaire on my head, but I will not take action because it's too risky. Any ostriches here? I used to be that too. I used to be all of them. The next one is the chickens. Oh my goodness, I love the chickens. They come to me and they're like, Patty, I'm not a procrastinator. What do you mean? I do stuff all day long. So they're doers. They do things, but they don't not prioritize. So they do, and the most important things, they leave it for the end, and they end up not being done. So they're very busy, but not very productive. And last but not least, we were talking about this morning, Raul was, and is the self-saboteurs. Self-saboteurs take action or block their actions so that they don't reach their success. So, been there, done that. Anyway, guys, those are the types of procrastinations. And guess what? Once you start finding who you are, the why behind it, you start changing. These are some of my clients. Megan increased their sales by 25% in just 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Shayna was overwhelmed being a mom, business owner. She was not exercising, and then she started doing everything she needed to do. Claudia wanted to lose weight, and she's like, oh my goodness, I've tried every kind of diets and gym and everything else. She lost 5 pounds in 1 week. Cola, she came to me, she's like, oh, my business is not doing great. And she grew her business 600% in 10 months. It's not a typo, guys. It's not 6%, it's not 60%, it's 600%. It works. And my friend Leah, she came to me. She's like, I'm very successful. I'm a financial advisor, but I don't have anyone to share my success with. Guess what? She was procrastinating on herself and love life, and she's now getting married in 2 months. So I'm very excited. Action brings results. Noemi wanted to be a coach, and now she is. So I can show you endless people that have transformed their lives. Cleaning houses, exercising, just by taking action, stopping procrastination. So guys, this works. Just imagine if everything you know you're supposed to be doing, you were doing. Just imagine, where would you be? It's endless. The possibilities are endless if you overcome your own self-sabotage. So this is the good news, guys. I'm here to help. I'd love to help. So this is what I'm going to do. I have said 2 days, if you want to talk to me for 60 minutes, text me. So I've seen it all. So if you want to know how to implement this in your own life, just send me a text message. Take your phone out and send me a message and saying, I'm in, and tell me your name because otherwise I will not know. It's 813-789-1097. 813-789-1097. And text me now and we'll just have a little one-on-one. And I wanted to share this. If you know me, then you know what this means. Yes. So I've been sharing this with a few people. I was not supposed to be here, Raul. You know this. I'm traveling the world and I didn't even know. But I ended up being here. So this is something we say at home. And it goes by GPP. And GPP stands for God's perfect plan. So we're all meant to be here today. There's a bigger plan, and God is in charge of it. GPP. Thank you very much, guys.